So I think what gets lost in all the content on YouTube and all the stuff you see online is collecting. And collecting is what drives this hobby and what has brought me continued passion and enjoyment through this space. I've loved making videos for you guys, sharing off my strategy for grading cards, selling some of them, and then buying cards with that money for my collection. Today's video is what that's all about. This is my collection. These are the cards I have worked up to on a budget. I'm not some rich random person you see online or some big influencer. Literally just a normal dude. I work a full-time job. I do cards on the side. These are the cards that I've had the amazing opportunity to search for, hunt down in the wild, grade myself, and add to my collection. They're cards that I'm super passionate about, players that I loved watching growing up, and I hope you guys can feel that when you see this video. And to just give a little history here, when I joined the hobby, I didn't feel this. I didn't see that sense of collectors out in the mainstream, right? I saw a lot of big voices who really I never understood if they were collecting cards or just using cards as a way to make money and then take that money to go buy whatever the heck they wanted instead of actually, again, working towards and buying cards that they were passionate about. I never really felt that by watching a lot of other people on here. And when I say that, I'm not speaking about anyone in particular. Really, nobody does come to mind. It's just that general sense I got in 2020, 2021 when I first started. So at the very least with this video, I hope you guys enjoy seeing and hearing my strategy, what I've enjoyed collecting. This does not mean these are the cards that you personally should collect, but it means maybe it'll give you an idea of cards and players that you have nostalgia for and maybe sets that you've never seen before that might be kind of interesting. And again, I implore you, when you see these sets and these cards, use your knowledge. Think, okay, this set's really cool. Austin's showing this set off. You know, maybe this player that I really love is in this set. Maybe I can go look for that card. Maybe I can save a search for it. That's my hope with this video. And ultimately, I do hope you guys enjoy. So one quick note before we get started here. I do enjoy keeping my cards in a binder, as hopefully you can see below. I did get an overhead mount for my phone, like you can see. So this will get a better way to see the collection. But yeah, so binders, I love storing them in here. It's how I stored cards as a kid. I found these graded card binder pages on eBay. I'm not making any money by saying this, but I'll link you guys it below. I will use an eBay affiliate link. It's a way where it doesn't charge you guys anything, but if you end up buying a couple pages, I think I get like 2% of the purchase price or something. I just figure if I'm sharing it off and giving those guys business who make the pages, you know, give me 2%. That's all I ask. Totally kidding. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. This is my collection. So we're going to dive right in and start with my Topps Finest Peyton Manning Gold Collection. So what I'm doing with this set here, you can see even I'm missing a card right here. I'll touch on that in a second. I'm going for all the gold refractors for Peyton Manning. So it goes from 1999 to 2015, which ironically enough, 2015 was his last playing year. And these gold Finest are amazing. I love this set specifically. You're going to see the designs are so incredibly different for every single year. I'm missing two. So I need 1999. I'm using this Sensations insert here. This is an insert. I'm looking for the base 1999 as well. And then I also need 2002 Topps Finest Gold Refractor. If you see 2002, you let me know. That's what I'm desperately in search of. It's out of 25, very hard to find. So anyways, yeah, so we have some cards here. You'll see a lot of 10s here. A lot of these cards I graded myself, which I think I'll touch on in the intro. So this insert on the top left corner, really nice design, out of 100. You saw that in my last video I uploaded. Actually, I just hit a 10 on this one. So this one went right into the binder where it will hopefully stay for a long-term period of time. And these cards I do store at the bank in a safety deposit. If you guys are wondering how I store cards of this high of value, I know like many of you, I don't like the idea of keeping these in my home. So that's just an FYI. For those of you that are thinking, how the heck do you store something like this? That's where these are stored. So back to the collection. So we have 2000 Finest, 2003. 2003 is one of my personal favorites. Love the design, super simple. So you'll see I have a refractor, gold X-fractor, and then gold refractor. Those are all three of the parallels that are in this set. There might be one more now I think of it, but I think that's all three. So I think I have the full set there. So flip the page. So here we have 2003, 2005, 2006, and 2007. So 2004, I believe they only have I'm trying to remember now. So I think there's a gold refractor in 2004 Finest, but it's a jersey card and it's not numbered. It's kind of odd. Most people, I don't think, include it in this run. Those that I know that have this run completed, they might, I'm not sure. I'm sure I'll pick it up eventually. It's just not one I'm actively like searching for right now. So again, 2003, this one I had a 9. I upgraded to a 10. So just for your awareness, everything in here, I don't actively look to sell, right? When I say collection, to me, that means cards that I have a passion for. This is my end game here, guys, right? Is building up a huge collection. The collectors that I have learned from and really learned a lot from, again, this past maybe 12 months, I've seen them, they have a passion for collecting. They build up the large collection. Does that mean they don't sell? No, they do sell sometimes. And I've found that it seems to be when the market goes crazy and cards are out of a price range that you're comfortable with that card being at, seems like that's kind of when they sell. They'll come back and buy it later on if they want to, and they don't let go of cards that you cannot get back. So a card like this, where it's I think pop 2 and a 10 out of 50, probably not going to let that one go ever. But some of these other ones, I mean, not these two per se, but some of the other gold refractors you're going to see, if the market goes crazy, maybe I'll sell a couple. I don't intend to. Again, that's just me saying that to be clear with you guys. Here's my collection and what I kind of do with these cards. Because beyond that, and again, the only real way these leave my collection at this point is if I get a duplicate or I upgrade the grade, like with the 2003 Finest Gold right here. So another couple I'll touch on, 05, 06. These are big time sets. You're going to see players in here that are huge names. Like, it seems like every Hall of Famer from the 2000s for football are in here. Brady drives crazy value. Peyton drives really high value. There's obviously lots of other quarterbacks. Brees comes to mind. And then some of the old guard guys are in here as well. Tons of good defensive players. But these two are very hard to get. I think the 05 I grabbed on eBay right when it got listed. I hit buy it now. I don't recall the price, but it was an immediate, I'm going to buy it. Grade it, got an 8. And the 9 here, somebody reached out, had a BGS 9. They knew I was going for the complete run. So that's where it really pays to, be clear on what you're collecting, because somebody, again, had this card, didn't mean as much to them as, I think it sounds like, at least, didn't mean as much to them as it did to me. So they felt like, hey, I'll reach out to, Austin here and say, hey, you want this card? And, so I did buy it from him. So thankful that, he thought to reach out to me. So yeah, we'll keep moving with the run here. You'll notice again with Finest, these designs are so unique. Just for your awareness, 2000s, what I've learned, and again, I wasn't collecting when these packs came out and everything like that, but from my understanding, what I've learned so far, the 3 main sets, the 2000s for football, you got Topps Chrome, you got Topps Finest, and you have Bowman Chrome. Now, all 3 of those, very unique, very different. Similar idea for golds, where a lot of them are out of 50. Topps Chrome drives the highest value, and to me, I don't get it. I'm just going to be frank with you guys. I'm not a huge fan of Topps Chrome, especially in the later years. I think there's some cool years. I do like 2008 and prior. All those years I do like. But some of the later years, the designs you'll see in here as we get further are very consistent. There's not a lot of variety. And honestly, I think the reason Topps Chrome drives the most value, this is my hypothesis, is because of LeBron James. I think a lot of people who come into the hobby, they learn basketball first. They see LeBron is Topps Chrome, and that's what I'm going to go for when I go over to football. But like I said, design-wise, in terms of rarity, it's about the same rarity, and the design I think is lacking. I heavily prefer Finest. I do like Bowman Chrome as well. But like I mentioned, just giving you awareness before we really dive into this, what kind of sets exist in this space. So again, touch on this. So I do have 2 10s on this page, which I'm excited about. If I ever have the chance, I'll try to upgrade my 2010 and 2009. So what that means to me is, I might not be able to bid on a 10 and win it just out of my, respect for my budget and the way I go about this. But if I found a raw copy, ungraded, I will buy it. I will grade it. If I get a 9 or an 8, I'll sell it or trade it at a card show or something. I do obviously pretty familiar with a lot of the Peyton collectors at this point. But if I hit a 10, that's where I upgrade and then sell the copy that's in here. That's kind of the way I've structured this, and really has allowed me to do this intelligently. Not pay crazy premiums for 10s, buy ungraded or buy lower grades. Because like you've seen from my videos, kind of the drawback with some of this grading is really that the 9s and 10s can be so borderline. So if you're not grading it yourself, you're really paying a premium for something that's kind of a coin flip sometimes, unfortunately. Not a knock on PSA. I don't know if there's a better way to do it, but again, just my thought process. So again, very cool. All out of 50, except this one's out of 75. It's been fun hunting these down. So the final 4 for Topps Finest here, again, just missing that 1999 and 2002. These are sweet because I was able to pick up all 4 in a 10. So this, I love how I'm just mentioning I don't typically buy 10s. These are, however, at that price point where I'm happy to get a 10 because you can get an ungraded copy of some of these for, I'd say around 100 to 150 would be my assumption at this point. I was able to pick up 10s for, around that 350 range. So that I'm comfortable with. But what I was more so getting on that previous statement was not looking to, pay $700 for a 10 when I could buy an ungraded copy for 100 or 150. It doesn't make sense for me. So yeah, this is a perfect example. This is where they start getting weird with numbering. So like this copy is out of 50, these two are out of 75, and then this one's out of 150. So this one again too, I think it's important to note here that this rarity and numbering is super critical. Later years, like 2015 now, you're getting to the values heavily decrease. So these are more affordable and approachable, but they also pop up a heck of a lot more. People knew to look for them in packs and knew to stash them away. Whereas like these prior years, like 2002 I brought up, I don't know at the time people really put a huge premium on them or stored them away. So you will not see many of those compared to some of these, even if the numbering's the same, just so you're aware. All right, so another set I'm a huge fan of, and I didn't mention it thus far, is Topps Pristine. So this had a nice little run from 2002 to 2004. 2005 does have a set. It's mostly focused on jerseys from what I've seen, so I didn't pick any of those up. But I like this set because it's very simple. So there's a refractor and then a gold refractor for all 3 years. I have the full run. It's the only full run that I'm aware of, and definitely the highest graded because I have both 10s here, both 10s here. Tough to hunt down, tough to grade. This was the first Peyton Manning card I ever graded right here. On a 79, hit a 10. I think it was a pop 1 at the time, so that kind of kick-started this whole collecting thing for me for Peyton. And then you get over to 2004. This also was a refractor and a gold refractor. So the only difference with 04, again, I have 10s on these. The 8 and 9 are the highest graded for both of these sets. There's just nothing higher. These refractors always have a line going down from what I've seen. I've graded, I think, 4 of them, 3 or 4 of these, and gotten 8s every single time. So I don't know. I might never be able to get a full PSA 10 set here, but we'll try our best. And then one note before we move on to Topps Chrome here, you'll notice everything here, there's not a rookie card in my collection. And some of you may be thinking, what the heck, why doesn't he have any rookies? I'm going to be very frank about it. I don't have an interest. It doesn't interest me. I'm not interested in paying a huge premium for a card that is a rookie. Yeah, I get it. It's, the first year, but there are thousands. For Peyton Manning in the 90s here, there are thousands of rookie cards. It's not like Tom Brady where, he wasn't a real big recruit. He only has like 4 or 5 real main ones that you see. Peyton has so many. So really the only thing I have interest in is the Topps Chrome, the essential, like, highest card for him, refractor, if I can get one of those. So that's kind of the one that I would look for. But I guess what I was saying, I'll be frank about this. I'm collecting what I like. That's all I'm going to say about it. I like this. Nobody told me to do it this way. A lot of people don't like it, which I think is even more of a reason why I want to collect it, because I think there's a big sentiment against a lot of these cards, and I think that's why value is very reasonable in a lot of these. And when I say reasonable, again, I maybe should mention this at the beginning, vast majority of cards that you've seen so far are really, in that $500 to $600 range for a 10, some higher, and then the 9s are more in the probably $150 to $250. So it's reasonable because they're not thousands of dollars, but it is, it is fairly expensive for a lot of these. All right, so now moving on to Topps Chrome. Again, don't have as many cards I do for Finest here. You'll notice continued trend of a lot of gold cards. I just love the parallel. I think it looks really neat, and I like the consistency how every year had them. So in 03 was the first instance where they did a gold X-Fractor. So hopefully you guys can see as I shimmer it here. These cards are gorgeous. I bought this one ungraded, did hit an 8, pretty off-centered, but honestly, I thought it had shot at a 9, so maybe you'll see this in a future video if we try it again. And then I do have 2008. So this is a set I'm a big fan of, is 2008. It's really, for me, the last, I'll say, great year of Topps Chrome, in my opinion. You can have your own, but that's my opinion for football. And again, the golds here are gorgeous. I've had, I think, 3 or 4 at this point because, again, like I mentioned, I'll buy ungraded. If I can hit a 10, I'm pretty familiar with this set at this point. If I can hit a 9, hit a 10, I'll end up trading those or selling those to put the money back into different cards that I'm looking for. Again, that's just the way I go about this. So yeah, move on. And again, just so your awareness too, I think, so these are out of 101, the X-Fractors, and then the golds in 2008 are out of 199. So they're not, out of 50, some of these super rare sets, you will see these. But again, rare enough to where it's tough to acquire them. They do not pop up that often. All right, so some more Topps Chrome. These are ones I picked up when I can find a really nice price. I think I graded all three. These are 3 examples that I did pick up. Majority of these cards, like I said, I've graded myself. These I've picked up myself because the Topps Chrome don't pop up a ton at auction, and like you can buy a 9 for slightly higher than a raw price, and the 10s on these I got very reasonably. So I picked them up when I was able. Obviously, Broncos uniform. I prefer the Colts, but still nice designs, cool cards. These are all out of 50 right here. And now we get into a little more of the miscellaneous. So I only do have 2 Bowman Chrome Golds. And the reason I'll say that is because it seems like to me these Bowman Chromes do not pop up as often as Topps Finest or Topps Chrome. I have a heck of a time finding more of these. So if you guys collect other players, or again, you're seeing this and thinking, wow, it'd be cool to do Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers or whatever, right? I'm just naming players. The Bowman Chrome seem like they're harder to find. So these are the 2 that I've been able to get so far. The 10 on the right I bought myself, and then this I did grade and hit a 10, which was a lot. I guess I should say really fulfilling. Love the idea of hunting them down, prepping them myself, hitting the high grade, and then I benefit. I can store that away for my collection. A couple inserts on the bottom for Prism. I'm not on the high enough budget where I can be buying these like 2013 Prism Golds or Select Golds, like the base cards. They're very expensive. I think for Peyton, they're even in the multiple thousands of dollar range. But these inserts are more in the couple $100 range. That fits the boat that I really like. So these are pretty neat intros. Inserts. And I like this intros one especially right here. All right, and then final page in this book, we do have another one, and then some loose cards. So these are some nice black refractors out of Topps Chrome. I do have now a base 2005 that I just sent off. You guys will see that in a future grading reveal. And then these are the 3 main, black refractors early on for Peyton and Topps Chrome. So I'm a fan of these, but I will not, again, pay a premium for a 10 because these are numbered out of, I think, $5.99 on all 3 of these. I'm going to double check here just to make sure. Yeah, out of $5.99. So I don't see a benefit in paying for a 10 if it's that common, if there's that many of them. Again, I don't want to spend multiple, maybe close to $1,000, probably more dollars for a card like these when I could buy 2 or 3 golds out of 50 or 3 or 4 golds, even raw out of 50. I'd rather have the golds. But yeah, you get the general idea here. All right, next binder. All right, so this binder is really neat to me. These are a little more Peyton Manning, and then I start showing off some of my pairings for Tom Brady and Peyton Manning that I have together. The same players, from the same set, same parallel. So first of all, we have some really, really, really nice cards out of 2005 and 2006 Finest. Like I mentioned at the beginning with the golds, these are personally 2 of my favorite years along with 03. So these black X-Fractors on the bottom are out of 25. Literally do not pop up. So I saw both of these pop up ungraded, and I hit the buy it now. There's a best offer available. I just hit the buy it now because I knew I wouldn't see one of these again. So I picked these up. And the blues on top, again, I love the design. And I apologize for any glare you guys are getting. I couldn't find a better way to do this, but hopefully you can see the general cards pretty well. So I did grade all of these myself. The 10 on the top right is a huge hit I had in a video a while back. This one's a pop 1, blue X-Fractor, jersey match for Peyton. Would love to get a Brady to pair with it, but again, got to be smart. Can't blow the bank to try to just get 1 card, so I try to be smart about it. All right, next we move on to some more Topps Chrome. So this is the full run for this set. There's also a normal refractor. I haven't picked one of those up in a 10 yet. I want to just wait till I can hit a 10 in a grading order. These blues you do not see. They're out of 50. A lot of people actually don't know they exist. I didn't myself until I was told about them. We do have a red and black. So I think black's out of 199, then these are like 259. And then an interesting one here is this Chico blue refractor, kind of like a throwbacks design. So all of these I graded myself, including this one down here, which is a pop 1. So very, very nice card. One that I really enjoy. A lot of other great players in this set as well. And now we move on to the Peyton and Tom Brady pairings. So these are pretty interesting. So a lot of these, again, I've graded myself. Some not, but some I have. So this Brady I hit myself. It's a PSA 10. These inserts in early Topps Chrome were always numbered out of 100, which I really like. So there was a base card and there was a refractor out of 100. That was it on these cards. So these are really nice. Happy to get, again, a pairing going. And then the bottom here is a pigskin gold refractor, 2009 finest. So a lot of people, again, this is one that a lot of people don't know exists. So what this is a parallel. It's kind of shaped and look like a football, which is interesting. You see, like that's why it's called pigskin, right? And it is a gold refractor as well. So these are out of 25. So again, you can imagine on 25, literally never, ever, ever pop up. So I made a trade on this one. So I traded a Peyton card out of my collection for this one. And then the Brady, I actually bought raw but damaged, right? So that's where I can stay, let's say, budget friendly to pick up cards like this for Brady that in a 9 or a 10 would be, we're talking multiple thousands of dollars. So to pick up an ungraded damaged one for, I think it was probably 600 or 700, that was about as good as I could afford on a card like this. And to get a 4, totally fine. You know, that's totally fine. To have a card like this out of 25, you know, I think that's where the grade starts to matter less and less. The lower the numbering, the less the grade matters, in my opinion. So this was a nice one to pair with my Peyton. So I pumped to pick those up again earlier this year. Then we have some pretty big ones, right? So this is the 2006 Black Refractor pairing. I do have to put an asterisk here to be completely upfront with you guys, right? You've seen me hit this in a video. This is one of only 2 cards you're going to see today that I actively have on eBay. And it kind of fits the boat I've mentioned earlier where the price point of what it's worth and what I could get with that money, I think I'd rather have the money if I get the price that, again, I feel it's worth. So that's where I'll throw it online. If it doesn't sell or 2 months from now or a month from now, I say, never mind, I'm going to keep this one. That's what I'll do. I don't think there's any harm in listing it. So that's one I have listed just again because I hit the 10 and the value on it's just absurd. Again, I think the last sales are something like 6,000 and 10,000 the last 2 sales. So just too high for me to feel comfortable holding on to at this point. And maybe I'm selling myself short. Maybe I should look at myself as somebody who can collect those kind of cards at this point. But I'm trying to stay more in that, $200 to $500 range for the majority of these cards. So a couple more on the bottom. This is, again, an insert set that's out of 100. This is a throwbacks set in 2005, Topps Chrome. These refractors, again, I just mentioned this, but out of 100. The Brady is the highest graded in a 9. I think it's a pop 2 or 3, maybe 2 or 3. I've graded one of them, and then my friend actually graded and hit another 9. He sold his copy. I still have mine. So pumped, again, to get this pairing going. I like the Brady more than the Peyton, but still very cool cards. And this Peyton was hard to find too. You really don't see these, even though they're out of 100. I think just because it's so early on in Topps Chrome, people, didn't really know what they were, didn't know in the future they'd hold value. So they never really pop up. I bet you a lot are sitting in packs or sitting in value boxes in someone's closet, to be honest. All right, next we have a few more pairings and then a couple of miscellaneous Bradys. So this is the Camo Refractor at a 2013 finest. So these are numbered out of 10. So the Brady you've seen in the video as well. I bought in an 8, regraded, got a 9 for my collection. That's, heck yeah. And then the Peyton I bought from a friend on Instagram. So nice to, again, get another pairing, guys that I like. I always love in these sets how they face each other. It's kind of funny. It's kind of like you could put a versus right in the middle and like say, hey, these 2 are matched up. So that's kind of what that reminds me of. And then a few Bradys in the bottom. These, again, like I've continued to mention, I will pick up stuff like this if it's not in a 10 and if it's at an affordable price point. So for both of these, I think I picked up in that $400 to $600 range. Again, a spot that I'm good with because I know I can go, let's say if I grade 10 cards that hit 10s, kind of these more bulk type of orders with PSA, I can sell them and then I can afford a card like this. So that's just, where I look with stuff like this. And then long term, I hope to complete the whole finest gold run for Brady as well. But I think a drawback with Brady is there's a lot of people who buy him who have no interest in collecting him, which I think is different with Peyton. I don't think people buy, flip, and sell Peyton. I think people do obviously buy him and try to resell Tom Brady. So it drives up prices on a lot of people that don't have any interest in the player. So that's kind of where I hedge my bets and try to not get caught up buying a 10 that's super expensive when, again, I could buy a 3, 4, 8s, or 9s. So that's what I prefer doing. All right, then a few more miscellaneous. So these on top, again, it's funny how many of these, I just remember the exact order these were in, and I have them on YouTube here. So these are the 2006, 2008 Bowman Chrome Orange Refractors. So these are out of 25. I found both, I think, on eBay and graded myself. And to hit a 9 is actually really strong. These have black backs, so they're very tough to grade. So nice ones there. And this right here is my favorite year of Bowman Chrome. So it's a Tom Brady Gold Refractor out of 50. Probably my favorite, maybe Brady I have. Probably my favorite, I think, except for that black finest. This one's really nice. Again, just love the design. And then the bottom right corner is a 2007 finest Peyton Manning X-Fractor. So these are out of 25. Again, had this in a video, you've seen it. I do have Randy Moss coming up with this card as well. So yeah, nice card to end binder 2. So now we have some loose cards. These are some more Peyton Manning. I think one more Brady, and then my other players that are currently I just started collecting. So I'm excited to show these off for you guys. This card in front is a Mario card that I just sold on eBay, but I had it in here so I didn't forget to ship it. So I'm going to take this away so you guys don't see that. So I just realized you guys can't see from the overhead view very well because I had it up so high. So I just swapped to my normal camera view here. So we'll start with a Peyton Manning 2002 Finest Refractor, and then I also have here a 2003 Finest Refractor. So even though these are numbered out of 250 and 199, you very rarely see them. It kind of fits that boat again that I mentioned of super early sets, so people didn't know, I think, to keep them in good condition or even have them, you know, have value. They didn't realize it. So these don't pop up too often. And again, just a reminder, I need the Gold Refractor for this card, or X-Fractor. If you have either of those, you know, reach out. I'd love to pick them up. All right, next we have a couple out of 2005 Finest. These are just extras. This is a set I will try to get all the refractors for. I don't have too many. I've had to trade one away to get a different card, so these are just a couple more I have for that set. I do the 2007 Finest Black Refractor, so this is out of 99. Nice one here. And then I also have in 2008 the Red Refractor. So this one's out of 25. So again, all of these, you know, as you've seen with my collection, they're cards that I feel I can't replace very easily, or if at all. So you'll notice either out of 99, super high grade, or out of 25 that you just won't see at all. And here's a sweet pairing. Again, in last week's video, you saw that I was able to complete. So this is a Brady and a Peyton, both Black Refractor PSA 10. Really, really sweet design. Again, I mentioned earlier, this is the second of the 2 cards I do have listed on eBay. Not actively, you know, trying to sell it, but I'll throw it up high. The value's so high that it's hard for me to hold on to, so I'd rather almost have a 9 than a 10. But if it doesn't sell, you know, in a little bit, maybe I'll just say I'm going to keep it. We'll have to see there. So moving on to 09 Finest, we have a Green Refractor and a Red Refractor, both PSA 10s. So this one's out of 199 for the green, and then the red is out of 25. So nice set here, and again, nice one to maybe one day complete the whole run here for that year. 2011 Finest Red Refractor, again, out of 25. Then we get to a little more of the oddball type stuff. So Bowman Chrome Refractor, Peyton Manning. This is the same year as Tom Brady, obviously, if you've seen that card. This is Peyton in that set. So that's a set where the refractors are so tough to find. So to get a Peyton in a high grade was kind of a no-brainer. And I graded this one myself, of course, as well. So that was in one of my earliest videos I have on the channel. Next year, 2004, Bowman Chrome Refractor. This one I did hit myself as well. PSA 10 out of, I believe, 500. So tough grade here. If I had a 9, I'd probably sell it, but a 10 is just hard to pass up to hold on to. I mean, I can't imagine hitting a 10 on one of these again, so that's why I hold on to it. Next, we have a 2009 Bowman Chrome Green Refractor. This is out of 99. Then a 05 Topps Chrome Base Refractor. So I will do a base refractor and keep in a high grade where it's a set that is basically impossible to get a 10 on. This set definitely fits that boat. And here we have a 2007 White Refractor. These are numbered out of, let's see here, 869. So again, high grade. There's a lot of them out there, but a high grade is tough to find. 2008 Topps Chrome Peyton Manning X-Fractor, same situation, tough grade. I hit a 10, I'll keep it. Then we have the Red Refractor for Peyton. Then what's cool is I do have coming up here, I gotta find it for you guys, I have a Red Refractor for Randy Moss too. So I'll show you that in a second. But those are out of 25, again, just a reminder. And what's crazy to me about this set, again, if you're seeing this and thinking about, oh, that set's cool, or I wanna look for other players in it, out of the 25 Reds, out of 25, go for about the same, if not less, than the golds out of 199. Doesn't make sense to me. I think the Reds are better in that extent, but just food for thought for you guys. Kind of a random one I won at auction. 2008 Topps Letterman X-Fractor. Loved the design. Loved the out of 25. Yeah, tough to find. You don't see these. We have a first year select prism. So this would be your silver. I think pretty low pop, maybe like 7 or 8. So a nice one that I bought myself and graded and hit a 10. And then, now I can keep in my collection. All right, so now we get some of the other players in my collection. These are all very recent. I've started trying to gather some of the players that I loved, watching, have nostalgia for. And for these guys, the end goal for me is to get 10 cards of. And if I get an 11th card, I'll sell one. I have to pick, hey, Austin, which one are you going to get rid of now? Because I have to limit myself in some way. Otherwise, as you see with Peyton, I go all in. I'm going to get way too many cards. It's going to get overwhelming. So that's the way I'm going to limit myself to these guys. Just keep 10 cards for each player. Not there yet, but again, it'll be a topic that I'm, looking forward to sharing with you guys in future videos. So first off, we have Drew Brees. Got 2004 Bowman Chrome Gold Refractor. Again, I've mentioned this. These old Bowman Chromes seem like a lot harder to find than Topps Finest. That's a nice one out of 50. Then we have 05 Finest Gold. Like I mentioned, this set, one of my favorites. So it was kind of a no-brainer when I saw it on eBay for less than $200 and a 9. I snagged that right away. And then we do have a 06 Gold Refractor Drew Brees, just a monster. This one, again, was a very recent pickup. Just a card where, to me, it was like 1/5 or 1/4 of what Peyton Manning would go for. It was probably like 1/20th or 1/30th of what Tom Brady would go for. So Drew Brees is not that bad, guys. So I grabbed that because it, again, felt like a no-brainer. Just card for my collection. And again, to get some nice Drew Brees cards is always going to be fun, to kind of do going forward. So Randy Moss. So you saw both of these already, this set. So 2007 Finest X Fractor out of 25, and the Red Refractor out of Topps Chrome out of 25. So 2 cards that I don't think I can replace for a player that's obviously Hall of Fame caliber. I have nostalgia for, so that's a guy I will keep and continue to try to look for. We do have a Kelvin Johnson. I'd love to get more for him. Seems like he's hard to find, and people really demand his cards. This is a Summit out of 2014 Prism. Numbered out of 5. It's a 2013 Prism design, but sorry, it's out of 2014, the National, I think it is, or the Summit, whatever that was. So these are numbered out of 5. And finally, a nice Julio Jones orange die cut out of 50. So that's the last card of my collection currently, guys. Looking forward to making more of these videos in the future. And again, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you felt that passion. I've had a lot of fun finding, and I hope that you guys find that as well in this hobby because, again, collecting is what it's all about.